Oh no, they can't see me. Shrink that. Shrink that ball again. 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 Bolo, yeah. Ah, we could be hanging now. We could be hanging now. Oh. Oh yeah, I'm live, aren't I? Oh, Silent Hill. Oh, oh. Kit Kat bites. Give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. Oh, check this out. Let's check out the chamber. Let's check out the Keith chamber. Oh yeah. It's absolute shit in the Keith chamber. Oh. So much getting that high density in the car. We're all excited today. Thank you, Kit Kat Bites. I was excited. I watched Star Wars Obi-Wan episode 4 today. I wasn't quite interested in it, however. It seems like he was just getting out of an issue that he created himself. Well, if you observe, there's some more of a private interview-like angle. You guys remember 2 years ago when I said that in another video that they're releasing 2 Silent Hill games in the movie? You remember that? When the Stoner Man, Stoner Silent Hill guy, managed to talk up. That should have that shit going down, yeah? Hey, just wait. This is just some of it. Wait until the monsters start showing up. Basically, I see Silent Hill on this screen. I think it's going to be a game. There's going to be a lead character involved. Lead character gets himself into some sort of awkward predicament where they're in Silent Hill looking for help. Go figure. That's when they're in there, they meet other key figures that it's great first impressions. I'm not gonna lie. You got the fog. It's not foggy when you get in the town. No, there's people in the town. And it's sunny, and it's happy, and it looks normal. But then, the fog realm, that's where all the monsters and shit, and then you have the other world, you know, you got that shit too. And you'll be able to traverse between all three. Because some, you know, obviously you're going to need to solve certain puzzles this way. If you know what I mean. It's jungle out there. It's a rainforest, huh? So basically, you're in this town, Silent Hill. Do I want to say that's open world? No. Because, you know, they said Elden Ring was an open world, and that still is segmented and shit. It's, you know, there's parts where, like, Downpour was kind of like open world, besides that one beam that you have to walk across that building. This is going to be more like Zone Silent Hill as well. But it's going to have that moving forward element that, like, the other ones had. You know, you'll be able to go certain places in town. You're presented with strange, bizarre sights after coming in contact with a strange device. Did you do this yourself? High explanation on, you know, yourself is like you're asking yourself, like, wait a second, did I do this? You find, you know, when there's enemies around, you can't shift realms. When there's enemies around, you gotta beat the enemies. Certain areas can be contaminated by, like, the other world or shit. That shit is gonna be just like that. You know, just stay the way it is. So, there's gonna be no intricate design in that many of the monsters. Most of the monsters are just gonna be like strange shapes that don't make sense, made out of flesh, chasing you, that are just random with appendages hanging out in certain spots. So there are going to be, like, some, like, you know, class type enemies that, you know, you'll be able to see some cool shit. I'm not going to lie about that. Monsters, there are other creatures that some of them have the ability that you have to shift the realms and basically bring you in. It gives you more control of the Silent Hill realm. Besides the aspect that it's like, you know, every now and then you'll have a Silent Hill fucking multiverse demon that can just say, oh, you're hanging out with some people in the mall in the normal realm? I don't fucking think so. And it pulls you in, and then you're in the other world and you gotta fucking run away from that shit. Obviously, you can hide from enemies. You pick out some great aspects from Shattered Memories that give you that ability to, like, be hidden until that shit makes it so you're not like that, I suppose. If that makes sense, that hiding from enemies makes sense, that it's a defensive tactic. You can fight these things too, but, you know, they're gonna usually come around the worst times. They're better off just running away from them. Ammo is just randomly scattered and can be found in random spots, and it'll just replenish. But zone-wise, I would say, that's about it. The combat, nothing really difficult with the combat. Just don't let them hit you, and if you can hit them with close combat, just don't hit them too much, I suppose, is the only advice I can tell without giving away too much. That's about as far as that gets, You are there in Silent Hill. For some reason. And as you're there, you encounter more things. Those things aren't good. No, it's not good shit. Inside of the town, there is word of a white Claudia substance being dispersed once again. People do be hearing that the pharmaceutical Silent Hill drug is back. So there's some side quest news. Side quest. Great. Isn't this wonderful? The AC guy decided we don't need our AC fixed. I mean, it's raining, so he's not wrong. It's that slow rain. Nice misty garden rain. Oh, what? Well, that's that thing is, when people talk about, what do you mean Silent Hill in England? And that's when you gotta get down back to those artifacts. The beginning of the story is about a third way of the game. That's where you start. But it's like flash forward some shit. Because he's already in the town, doing what he needs to. That's why it looks a little weird in the beginning. After that, you jump back to the main sequence, where you start in the beginning. All around the world, there are these artifacts from Silent Hill, these occult artifacts that were stolen somehow from wherever they were, allegedly. Now in other parts of the world, influencing the world with their power, making like little blink spots, if that makes any point, blink points, if that makes any sense. And as we see ourselves, we start to realize it's an energy that has become sentient. And that energy has to be fought and killed. Somehow, that's, there's going to be an interesting villain coming in that will be interesting. Look at the times. I mean, you guys look at everything. You look how things get done now. You see how things get done? You think something's gone forever. You think an aspect of it's gone. And they revitalize that. You gotta take that in mind. Take that in mind. Think that in mind. Why would they make a downpour comic book that ties with all the other comic books if the comic books weren't part of the canon realm, but the downpour one ties them to all together? And why would that make sense if now we're in the metaverse realm? You know what I mean? Oh God. The multiverse, my apologies. The metaverse is something else, isn't it? That's that Facebook shit. Silent Hill, be out of this world, quite literally. All over the world, monsters showing up. It's gonna be corny, but it's gonna be scary. It's gonna have good aspects to it. You know, the plot is gonna be corny how it starts. But fucking look at those plants. Again, so nice tonight. Oh, hell yeah. You're gonna be fighting these monsters that are just, you know, lumps of flesh and appendages, sliding around, jumping in the air. You know, you're gonna have like creatures that are bipedal and look kind of more human-esque. And, you know, there's gonna be some scary shit. There's gonna be obviously sexy nurses. There has to be. So pardon my language. I'm an outside source. I don't have to stick by the company policy when I speak. Either way, insiders, you know, we're the most interesting of people, one might say. It comes down to the world of what is it that you truly want in this world? What is it that you're trying to do with this haunted town? Oh, what's so scary about a haunted town of demons? Yeah, you had demons in space already. A few times now. So now they're thinking, oh shit. Alright. Let's make it the Silent Hill Rust enemy Plague Man enemy bad guy that overrules all the other dudes that could be like, yo, hey, I bring you to this realm. This dude's all covered in shit that you can tell signifies that this thing controls the realms. And this guy is like, I'm just gonna start infecting shit with the other world. Because he's a bad guy, you know? What do you think? Bad guys get what they get. But in this aspect, this bad guy's an interesting bad guy because he's very fucking powerful. He has the ability to control time and space around him. Not entirely matter, but can have servants, you know, the monsters and shit that control the matter. Let's say you're in the nightmare realm is another new thing. It's like they gotta have the scary thing. Otherworld's scary because it's rusty and bloody. Fog world's scary because damn fog. Have you ever tried driving in that shit? Human world's scary because there's a lot of people sometimes and anxiety. But what if I told you there's nightmare realm where you'll be only in the night? You'll be walking around and then a building will turn into something, a big demon monster, arm thing, or they, you know, recycled ideas, whatever they want to do. But it's always something that will be like, oh, a street sign will just start turning the barbed wire and trying to grab you and you take out the gun and shoot it. So it's going to become more, I don't want to say survival horror, than it would be psychological horror, because it's psychological horror, but there's going to be aspects to it with the puzzles. Obviously, you're going to have interesting puzzles to use your brain again. Because you got to compete. You got to compete against what else is coming. Now, this is the dawn of remakes and the dawn of games coming back being like, yo, this game sounds like a good day to remake or reboot. Yeah, that's cool. And then they do that shit. Exactly. You can do anything you want with what's going on in the shit. And you can be like, hey, if I want to be big bad Konami, I can just pay some people to use their information that they came up with and then have everyone else do the fucking plot. Dude, they have so much that they can go from. They can say that the town is starting to affect people. Because they did that before, you know? They can do it again. A Walter, that's a level 2 Walter, that just doesn't fuck up. Imagine if you have a Walter, subject from, like, the Wish House that escaped and didn't fuck up and was able to become powerful and all-knowing and shit. How do I go? Chat. And this is how it be going on, is I thoroughly liked Downpour, but I remember the first time I played it, I thought it was a lot harder than it actually was. And then when I played it through on hard, I realized it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. After playing through it several years later, I was able to, I think I platinumed it. I think I did platinum it. And it was easy. I don't know, I've just not really been focused on the other aspects of how Silent Hill could just come back by Team Silent bullshit. I don't think Silent Hill needs to come back by any original creators. I think they just need to have care in it. I mean, some of Team Silent is dead. People don't need to get over that stupid hold that, you know, what, you got people that did certain aspects to make it good that were in only 1 or 2 of the games, or like maybe 3 and 4 or 1 and 3. No, it's nothing like that. Everyone's just so annoying about it. The Silent Hill fucking fandom obviously is annoying as shit. We all know this. We're a part of it. We can accept it. Damn, I've been annoying. I mean, I get high on my thing. That's pretty fucking annoying. But listen to this. What if I told you that the only reason why Downpour came out bad is as soon as people started hearing that a game was coming out, they rushed the fuck out of it. See? Even the fucking dog knows. Dog's over there fucking smiling. See that shit? You gotta say, what if they've been working on games for a few years now and they just didn't tell anyone? What if I was right all along when I told you that? I think, you know, people can make a good game if they make it unique. Obviously, they look at what the story is, the plot, and everything, and they say, this is the lore, let's feature what we can, let's make interesting bullet points, and then let's revitalize it like that. And they just gotta say, yo, you got a guy walking down the hallway, he's fucking in the food court, he's going into some fucking building. Fire escape ain't the fire escape, it's just a black abyss on the ground that he almost falls into. Turned around, now he's in the nightmare realm. How did that happen? Some things just got to be different, you know. Homecoming had a good aspect of saying this is how cool and cinematic the Nightmare Realm can appear, and that was cool. You have that when you're running, you'd be like, oh, you're running around, and you have shit like twisting and burning up and melting and turning up the metal and barbed wire and all that shit, and you don't get that. You don't get that in today. You don't have like fast shit like that. It doesn't have to be fast. The movements can still be the same pace. You know, you're running around, but it's how the world rots that looks quick, you know? Like, obviously, if you started seeing shit get fucked up and, you know, multiversal in front of you, you would see that shit. You would notice that shit. So it would look fast because you're paying attention to it even in any way. You know, whole trees and shit, and whole patches of road and ground and parts of like just nothing. You know, you'd see like just empty space contorting into like the other world. It would be pretty spooky. It would be pretty spooky. You'd see monsters climbing out, infiltrating the other realms as the rot continues. And what's cool is like no one else is really seeing this shit. Just you. Where they rot, you'll be seeing people walk by the rot and they'll be like normal. And they'll walk into it and they'll just dissipate. Because you're connected to the rot. Not them. You just get out of it again though. You fight bad guys in it. It's that simple. What if I told you Silent Hill is that simple? Silent Hill is simple enough where people will see the game and say, scary monsters climbing out of some sort of hellish chaos that's appearing in front of me. Is it perhaps that thing I brought back from that town in New England when I visited? And then it's like, you got like London, you got this old clock, or like table clock from Silent Hill that you bought at like a flea market. And it was evil and cursed? Because half the old crew is dead and the other half don't want to. It's that simple. They don't want to work on Silent Hill anymore. Damn. You know, and that's what I'm coming back to. Those comics had interesting stories. You got bad guys in Silent Hill. You got good guys in Silent Hill. You got people that are tormented in Silent Hill and seeing all sorts of different shit. Whatever you have that, you know, will be drawn to your psyche. So it's like whatever characters are in that hell realm with you, it's drawn to their hell realm. But you're just also in it because you're in the hell realm. That'd be cool. I like they did a book of Lost Memories or whatever the fuck it was, the one on the Vita. That was cool. I got to play that with some of you guys at one point. That was pretty nice. Imagine this. You have a Silent Hill that's open world, where you just fight monstrosities and there's daily missions and shit. As dumb as that sounds, you gotta look at it, that would be a good idea. That's still a good idea. As dumb as it sounds, you can do all sorts of different shit. You want to revitalize the thing. Make it like multiplayer where you can just play with people in Silent Hill and like Dead Rising, chop till you drop style. Just fight all the enemies and demons and find medkits and shit, and you know, bigger enemies come out. This is a new sound home production. Oh no, the earlier part was, this is nothing. This is me high. This is me just hanging out. But what I was talking about earlier was the rumor. I was right last time. It's such a rumor. All you have to do, and I'm telling you, is talk to people. It's that simple. You talk to people and they'll tell you shit. It's a real punk aspect, because most people are afraid to say, hey, you work at a game company, yeah? You do anything? I am fun and cool. And if you flatter people and you just talk to them like a normal human being, most people will talk. I mean, I got to talk to Joseph Vermersa and Guy Seehey and McGlenn. Wasn't nice. I haven't talked to Akira, but I've talked to, you know, the Resident Evil dude. You know, I'm friends with him on Facebook. And, you know, it's just so simple. You just talk to them sometimes. You can. You have that ability to say, hey, do you know anything? Do you know anybody that might? It's a paper trail, but, you know, you follow it. Check this out. It's the spray bottle, right? Why do I have the spray bottle? This is for the cat when he's being an asshole. But I was told that if you do this, you know, you don't feel as hot, I suppose. That makes sense. So I've been hanging out in the Florida like a real one. But oh yeah, that was part of it. You know, if you are drawn to that part of Silent Hill, you are tied to something. You have something near you that is connected to it. That you're, you know, let's say, oh hey, I got these socks in Silent Hill, and they were worn by an occultist that was possessed by a demon. Yeah, that shit could happen. It's like that. That's as dumb and corny as it is, but it makes sense. And it's like Silent Hill has obviously a bad guy that inhabits it in another realm, the nightmare realm, that is just all locked up. And you can't get into it until you kill other bad guys that work for this bad guy. Makes sense. Now I like the Evil Within 2, where it just became more and then became less and then more of something else. And it's that much that, oh, you can't get into this final nightmare realm where the bad guy is. I mean, you'll fight him, and he'll follow you around every now and then, but you can't kill him. He's like the metaphysical nemesis-like character. Oh, gosh. Oh, Resident Evil 7 was so much fucking better than Resident Evil fucking 8. Resident Evil 8 made me depressed when I played it. I played Resident Evil 8 and I played Dead Rising 4 while taking LSD. And I was seeing all sorts of demons and monsters and shit, you know what I mean? But it's just a sad game. I mean, the color tones in Resident Evil 8 are mainly grays and whites and blues and like dark browns. It's a very sad, dark game, man. And then it's like that I was playing basically the same thing but with Christmas, with a lot of green and red every now and then. You got this shit going on in the Silent Hill realm. Bad guy wants to fuck and be a bad guy and be in another realm, pulling people into this realm, into that realm, this realm, that realm, whatever realm, and fucking with them and letting monsters tear them apart and bringing their corpse back and riddling parts of every realm of hell and slowly infecting all of them, making the nightmare realm. And you're saying, I don't like that. That's not cool. I live here too. That's not cool. You join an elite team of artifact hunting people, and these artifact hunting people find the bad guy. You guys will know who he is because he will announce his name while he's being evil. Honestly, it's always is that way. Beyond that, you know, you can get some more view of the town because the town is going to be more connected in some spots. Like in the normal realm, it's just normal. You know, you get to just go around and hang out in Rosewater Park where there's other people hanging out. Or you can go to the realm where there's just monsters and shit. There's gonna be references to other shit, other games. Is it gonna be like what they do with all of these next gen games? Yeah. It's going to be nods to the old one aplenty. But you got that in Downpour. You got that, obviously, in Book of Memories. You got that in all sorts of shit. And now you're going to be getting that in a different way. Because now it's on next-gen consoles as well. It will only be on next-gen consoles. It will release later in date for Xbox. There'll be no DLC for this game. But it won't need it, if that is good enough to suffice. And on top of that, it's a new game. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.